different league. I'm a whole different breed. Riding at a whole different speed. Them niggas okay, but please don't compare them to me. I'm in a whole different league. I'm in a whole different league. I'm a whole different breed. Riding at a whole different speed. Them niggas okay, but please don't compare them to me. I'm in a whole different league.
Signing in, this is Mauricio Bay.
Warning.
And I'm back with another video. This is a video that I'm making because I have a lot of emails from brothers and sisters, you know, setting up their trust or their EIN, forming EIN, and they're having an issue with understanding a position that they want to be in as them being a creator. Okay, so we're gonna go into this so maybe some people can get an idea on what a trustee is, what a grantor is, and what a beneficiary is. So then we could come to understanding on what we don't want to be and what we do want to be. Okay, now let's go into this. Trust. Okay, trust, a legal entity created by a grantor. Okay, not a trustee, a grantor, for the benefit of the designated beneficiaries under the laws of the state and the valid trust instrument. Okay, so it says indenture. Indenture, the document which contains the terms and conditions and which governs the conduct of the trustee and the rights of the beneficiaries. So basically, when you put your indenture, this is where you put the positions. What's the trustee's job? Who's the beneficiary? Who's the grantor? And what and how this is going to be operating together to make it work on however you're trying to operate. Okay. Now, the exchanger, exchange, to part with, give, or transfer for an equivalent. Okay. So it's a transfer, more like, you know, if you want to transfer assets into something onto your trust. Okay, so it says trustor, one who creates a trust, also called a setter. A setter, the grantor or donor in a deed of settlement, also one who creates a trust. Okay, so this is a grantor. You don't see nothing about no trustee creating no trust. So a lot of people put themselves as trustees, like trustee means like you're trustworthy. You know, it's the opposite. Okay, trust corpus, trust property, the property in which is the subject matter of the trust. The trust rests. Okay, so the subject matter of the trust, which means you're talking about nothing private. You're talking about the public, the person who's supposed to be the person who takes the blame for everything. Okay, that's the trustee's job. The trustee is the one who takes everything, Okay, so I don't know why people want to be trustees. Okay, it says creator, one who creates. Trustee, person holding property in trust. So it's not yours. You're holding it in trust. One who holds legal title to property in trust for the benefit of another person, beneficiary, and who must carry out specific duties with regard to the property. See, there you go. So all you people that want to be trustees in your trust, understand the trustee is like an employee. Trustee, worker. Okay? Same thing. Now we're going to go into what legal title is. Legal title, one which is complete and perfect so far as regards the apparent right. Apparent. So that means it's not the apparent right of ownership and possession, but which carries no beneficial interest in the property, another person being equitably entitled thereto. There you go. So the trustee holds the legal title, which is basically he just have the exclusive rights to use it, but it's not his. He don't have no control over it. Okay? Beneficiary, one who benefits from act of another. which that would be the trustee, because the trustee works for the beneficiary. Okay? Surety. No, sorry. Equitable title. A right in the party to whom it belongs to have the legal title transferred to him, or the beneficial interest of one person whom equity regards as the real owner. Okay? So the trustee is not the owner. The one who holds equitable title is the owner, and that usually is the grantor. Okay? Surety. A person who is primarily liable for payment or debt or performance or obligations of another. Who's that? That's the trustee's job. A person who is primarily liable for payment or debt or performance or obligation of another, because the trustee's job is the obligation to make sure that the beneficiary is the one who gains. Okay? Creditor. One to whom money is due. In ordinary acceptation has reference to financial or business transactions. See? Okay? So that's just breaking down what that is right there. So you can know what's what, who's who, and how you want to occupy your position. So now we're going to go into the straw man. Let's get into this. For the original straw man trust, right? Now this is where we're going to go into. A lot of people want to authenticate their birth certificate. Okay? So that's another thing you don't do. I'm going to show you why you can't and why you shouldn't. For the original straw man trust, mom was the exchanger. So we just went over exchanger up there, okay? Truster, setter. Your mother applied to the state of whatever state you're from for the creation of a trust. She chose the date of birth for it. She chose its name. She requested evidence that it has been created, equals a birth certificate. That's the evidence. She was the informant. She delivered the paper description of the original property to the trust creator, right, which is the state or the government. It was a description of the real substance. The paper description was the original trust corpus. More trust property can be added later. Why not? Because whatever you own, they own. So whatever you accumulate, they accumulate. Okay? Now, it said the state of wherever you from was the creator of the original trust, because they're the ones who made it. Okay? That means they're the one who created the birth certificate. So it's theirs. So how you going to authenticate something that don't belong to you? It can never belong to you. The state complied with mom's request and created a straw man with the name and date of birth your mother requested. She applied for a social security number for it. She put it into Commerce. Back this up some more. You see. She put it into Commerce by getting it medical records, a daycare matriculation number, a public school matriculation number, a little league ID number, a library card number, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes the creator is also the original exchanger, trustor, or setter. That means like if a baby's like born into adoption or born without a family, it already belongs to the government. So he's already the original creator. You know what I'm saying? It was given away from birth, right? Okay, so let's go over here. Flip. Now it says right here. Who is the beneficiary of the original trust? The beneficiary changes each time a new trust is created. You are the original beneficiary, though if you choose to use your beneficial interest. If you choose to use it, if you choose not to use it, the citizens of the state that created it are the beneficiaries. This is part of the highest and best used principle in principle. If the property is not being put to its highest and best use, it can be borrowed from time and put to a better use. You have not been using it. You have not filed any claims against it. Now, let me ask you this. How many people sued or made a complaint against their straw man? I'll wait. See? How you expect to discharge debt and all this type of stuff if you haven't filed any claims against the straw man to make that clear that you are not a corporation? I just want to put that out there because I see a lot of people trying to do stuff and they haven't did certain things to make other things happen. You get what I mean? But I'll keep going. I'll read that part again. You have not been using it. You have not filed any claims against it. So why would it just sit there not being used? That first trust was created for your benefits. If you choose to use it, of course, a lot of people don't know how to use it because they think they are the trust. They don't know it's a business instrument. All that is business instruments. Remember, the reason for the first party created a trust is for the second party trustee to manage that trust corpus for the benefit of the third party beneficiary. See that? So it's told you right there that you're the trustee. They made it for the trustee to manage the trust corpus for the benefit of a third party beneficiary, which is not you. Okay? This is how they set it up. So you have to understand what these instruments are. So it says, what is the trust corpus? The state complied with Mom's request and created a straw man with the name and date of birth she requested. Mom is the one who put your physical description on the application for the certificate, evidence that the trust has been created. She delivered the description, 7 pounds 11 ounces, 19.5 inches long, and a footprint. All of this was on paper. The paper is the trust corpus. See that? So basically now they took the real, substance and put everything with you on paper, and now you're basically a corpus, which is a dead person, a ward. This is why you go to a ward, right? So it says the paper is the trust corpus. That was the consideration that was exchanged into the original trust. Exchanged for what? The ability to gain possession, not title, of houses, cars, shoes, books, etc. without paying for them. She applied for a Social Security number for it. She put it into Commerce by getting it medical records, a daycare matriculation number. All right, you see it, matriculation number, little league number, library card, etc. All of these papers, contracts between the trust and agencies of the municipal corporations are the trust assets. See that? These are all part of the trust corpus, that trust property. They are all property that can be used as evidence of contractual obligations. The trust has all collateral for debts the trust owes. It it appears the trust is using your description and your credit to gain assets. It has an obligation to you. Maybe these assets can be considered benefits for which you owe an obligation because of your close relationship with the trust, or these assets can be considered collateral for the debt the trust owes to you. Who is the trustee? Okay, let's break down who the trustee is. On the private side of the appointed trustee, on the private side, if the appointed trustee resigns or dies, the trust corpus reverts to the beneficiaries or back to the trustor. It is useless to create a trust without appointing a trustee. See how I use the word appointing. So why would a lot of people make themselves the trustee? The trust created by the state upon mom's request must also have a trustee. The problem is, depending on how it is going to be used. The creation of the trust is a matter of construction and operations of law. This is a constructive trust. So that's what kind of trust you are put under, ladies and gentlemen. Your Social Security and all of that stuff like that is in your birth certificate. That is what you call a constructive trust. Because it's constructive for you to be a certain way. You're not supposed to rise up. Right? So I'm going to show you. So it says constructive trust created by operations of law against one who by actual or constructive fraud, by duress or by abuse of confidence, or by commission of wrong, or by any form of unconscionable conduct or other questionable means has obtained to hold legal right to property which he should not, in equity and good conscience, hold and enjoy. See that? That's what a constructive trust is. It's not for you to, it's for you to be abused and for them to run your stuff. Construction. Now here's the scope and definitions again. Construction, drawing conclusions, suspecting subjects that, i.e., beyond the direct expression of the term. Operations of law. The term expressed the manner in which rights and sometimes liabilities devolve upon a person by the mere application to a particular transaction of the established rules of law without the act or cooperation of the party himself. See that? So that means basically you don't have to cooperate. This is just who you're gonna be. Period. This is the way it's been constructed for you to be. But I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video because this video is running out. So I'm gonna follow up on this video and we're gonna break this down some more to get where we stand. And then I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace and love. Catch me on part 2. Follow.